Hello, I am Garrett Godfrey, and welcome to the Crowdfunding Christian Music Podcast, where I will help you find and fund the music you love. This is episode 28, recorded Thursday, August 13th, 2015. We're going to be looking at some current campaigns by Eric Peters, Jennifer Hildebrand, Anakai Ney, and Nat Clubb, plus an update on Randall Goodgame of Slugs Bugs. I hope you enjoy the show and you find something you can fund. So, before we get to the campaigns, I just want to remind you we've got the timestamps for the specific campaigns in the show notes. And if you back any of these campaigns, or even if you just want to help them get the word out, be sure to tweet about it, post it on Facebook, mention it to your friends in real life, and spread the word about these campaigns. Maybe mention this show too. If you want to send me feedback, email me feedback@crowdfundingchristianmusic.com, or if you use the Twitter, you can message me at @theotherccm. So, on to the campaigns. First up tonight is Eric Peters. He's a singer-songwriter from Nashville, Tennessee, with a Kickstarter campaign for a concept album and photo essay book titled Far Side of the Sea. And let me just back up and say, Eric Peters, so like this is some of his early stuff, but the way I heard him was this band, Ridgely. He was part of that duo, and I really liked that sound, and so I've been a fan for a while. He's been doing this for like over 20 years now. And he's also a painter, sculptor, and a book collector. But let's hear a bit more about this campaign on his Kickstarter page.
The title is Far Side of the Sea. It's a concept album in that all of the songs are written from the perspective of overlooked objects or people, things that may not have a purpose in the world anymore. And so I wanted to try and tell their story the way maybe I would imagine it or experience it. There's the album portion of Far Side of the Sea, and then there's the book piece component that I feel are companion pieces and that they go together. Each one informs the other. I'd love your help in making Far Side of the Sea. So thanks for watching this.
Far Side of the Sea, Kickstarter!
Now, this would actually be his 10th studio recording. So he's got some clips of some of his songs on his website. So I'm actually going to go and play a clip of one of his videos, and then we're going to cut back and talk a bit more about the campaign. So this book that he's talking about is going to be a collection of 50 different photos and accompanying prose and songs based on excerpts of the book. Initially, the goal for this campaign is $23,000. That will cover the album and a digital version of the book, but he's got stretch goals. So at $25,000, he'll buy some additional equipment and record an audiobook version of this book. At $27,000, he'll record and release a 6-song EP of hymns to be titled Earth Has No Sorrow. And at $32,000, he'll create a hardcover 7x9 case-bound book with the black and white photos on heavy paper with the essays, a silver foil stamped cover and spine, dust jacket. Already he's got $7,000, and he's got 3 more weeks to go. This campaign closes September 8th. If you look down at the rewards, for $10 you get a pre-release download of the album. For $15 you also get it on CD. For $25 it's 2 signed CDs and the early download. For $35 you also get the digital version of the book. For $50 you get the digital version of the book, the early download, 5 signed CDs, and for $60 you get a 5x7 print of an image from the book, signed and numbered, the digital book, the early download, 2 signed CDs, and this is where you hit those stretch goals. So if you've pledged at $60 and he hits the stretch goals, you'll also get the audiobook, the hymns EP, the hardcover printing of the book in the 7x9 case-bound book. And there are a lot more other options there as well. So if this sounds like something you want to check out, the links will be in the show notes for Eric Peters, and you definitely ought to check out Far Side of the Sea. Next up is Jennifer Hildebrand. She's a singer-songwriter out of Fort Worth, Texas, with a folk rock sound. She's got a Kickstarter campaign going right now for an 11-song album to be titled Soul in Paraphrase. Let's hear her talk a bit about that campaign on her video.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm a singer-songwriter here in Fort Worth, Texas, and I love to write songs about faith and life. Over the past 8 months, I've been working really hard to create a new collection of songs called Soul in Paraphrase. The title comes from a poem by 17th century poet George Herbert, and I think it perfectly fits the tone behind this new batch of songs. All were born out of trial and triumph and just everything in between. These 11 new songs are just sitting on go, but now we need your help. In order to complete the journey and get this album prepped, pressed, and out the door, we're asking for your support through this Kickstarter campaign. You can check out all the details here on our Kickstarter page. There's lots of support levels to choose from, and any way you choose to help will be very appreciated. You can even help just by spreading the word. But this is an all-or-nothing campaign, so we have to meet our goal by the deadline or, well, it's back to the drawing board. So would you consider becoming a supporter? Help us get Soul in Paraphrase into your hands. You can check out more of my music on Facebook or at jenniferhildebrandmusic.com. Music is a powerful force, but so is community. Thanks for stopping by. See you soon.
Now, this is not her first project. She's actually been working on music for quite a long time. If you look at her website, you can see she's had a couple other projects out already. Her first, Shine, came out almost 8 years ago. She also has some snippets of some of these songs on her website, so I'm going to play you parts of 2 of the different songs. The first is Unto You.
You made the plan even before I turned away. You knew there'd come a day when I would seek you. My tapestry, you shouted through my shame. Now to the glory of your name, my God, I greet you. And I open up my heart to let you in. I give you all my heart.
And the second is the song Magnify.
To my size, or maybe just a little bit smaller. I see you some days, Lord, like a picture in my locket. I shrink you down to fit you in my pocket, to save you for a rainy day, but then you testify. Look, I tell it all. 'Cause my vision's much too small for this God who's ever seeing. The only meaning for my being is to magnify.
So she needed to raise $1,400, $1,425, and she's already met that goal, and she still has another week to go. This campaign closes August 22nd, so if you go down to the rewards, for $15 you get the new CD. For $25 you can get another CD, either an extra of this one or one of her earlier titles, and there are more rewards available. So if this sounds like something you want to check out, the links will be in the show notes. Next up is Anakai Ney, and if I've misspelled that, I am so sorry. She's a soul jazz artist from Reading, Pennsylvania, with an Indiegogo campaign for an EP of original songs all around the theme of Father. And she sees folks that struggle because of either a misguided or an unhealthy view of God as Father, and that's, keeping them from maybe coming to Christ. And so she's really working on this EP as a way to help folks have a better view of God as a loving Father that we can trust and that pursues us. So let's hear a little bit more about this project on her campaign video over at Indiegogo.
I've been searching for someone who'll be faithful and true, on whose shoulders I could cry, someone to give my heart to. I've been looking for someone in whom I can confide. I want to bear all my soul, my failures, without being cast aside.
When I think of Father, I think of an anchor, a person in whom you can confide, someone you can depend on, not just for meeting physical needs, but emotional ones too. I think of Father as a banner of unconditional love, never fearing their presence, but always feeling invited, always feeling welcome.
Remind me that this life is not mine. Remind me that there's more to this life than I can see. Help me to trust that you'll make life worthwhile in this beautiful surrender.
In our culture, there are so many things to find your identity in, and largely none of them are fulfilling. And so when I think about how a father bestows identity, and why this message is so strong for me, and why friends that have shared their story with me can really point to that lack, that missing piece in their life that really in a lot of ways is defining them, but they don't know it. It's not always found in human relationships, but it's definitely found in the relationship with God the Father, who presents himself as such.
Settle the issue by your blood. Settle my issues by your blood. Yeah, yeah.
When people listen to my songs, I want them to feel pursued. I want them to once again be okay with vulnerability. And so I think in large part the music is not just for people of faith, but anyone who really can understand this message, can understand where somewhere in their journey they had a break with father, whatever that means to them.
Did not realize that person was you, loving Father up above. Listen to me, your love, and heal my heart's scar tissue.
This is going to be the biggest project I've ever undertaken. Since I started my life as a musician, pursuing this as a career, as a calling, it requires you to really be transparent, really be vulnerable, and it's real. It's legitimate. It's coming from a very real place, real experiences. It's my findings, my discovery, the journey. I can't wait to share the songs with you because they really do tell the story. They tell the story of my journey and discovery to experiencing God as Father, and for those encounters to really define me as a person. It's a challenge to get a record out there. The costs will go to studio time, recording, mixing, mastering, all the post-production, digitizing, putting it up on iTunes, Amazon, copyrights, album art, all those things that you need to have a project done in its fullness. We're also discussing videography for the project so that you can see the whole journey through this process, which I think is equally as important as the recording. It's a fearful journey, but it's a journey where I'm being vulnerable with you, where I now have to trust you as the audience to believe in me and this message and to partner with me in this journey.
Remind me that this life is not mine. Remind me that there's more to this life than I can see. Help me to trust that you make life worthwhile in this beautiful surrender. In this beautiful surrender.
So she's got a great video, a clip of the studio rehearsal of that song over on YouTube. So here's that.
Look at my timing. Having done nothing wrong, you took what's in. Yet here I am, sitting in silence, crying about the life I know. Oh, you gave it all for me. Yet I feel the urge to hold on to what I don't hold.
Now she's actually going into the studio in 4 days. There's 16 days left for the campaign. She has a goal of $15,500. She's already raised $3,000 of that. She's got 16 days to go, but 4 days from now, on the 17th, she goes into the studio to start recording. If you go down and look at the perks on the Indiegogo page, for $15 you get a download of the EP. For $25 you get the CD. For $45 a signed CD and a personal handwritten thank you note and that download and more. If this sounds like something you want to check out, the links will be in the show notes. Next up is Nat Clubb from Franklin, Tennessee, with a Kickstarter campaign for a 3 to 5 song worship EP. Now he's planning on releasing the project free over at Noise Trade once it's done. He doesn't have a video or any song samples on his campaign page, but if you scroll down and look at the little bio section on the right, he's got a link to his website, and over on that page he's got an embedded SoundCloud player with some of the music from his last EP titled For Your Glory that came out a few years ago. Let's take a listen to just a couple clips from that so you get a feel for what he's like.
I surrender all into your hands. Here I am. Here's my heart. Here's my heart, completely yours and set apart. Here's my heart.
That was Here I Am, and here's a clip of Taste and See.
Sweeter than wine, your love satisfies. A refuge of strength I can run to. The weak can cry out, you encamp all around. You deliver the ones who are fearful. So come and taste and see that the Lord is good. Come and taste and see that the Lord is good. Come and taste and see that the Lord is good. He is good.
So he needs to raise $7,500 for this Kickstarter campaign, and he's just getting started. He's got 31 days still to go on this campaign. This campaign closes September 14th, so if you are interested in pitching in, for $10 you get a digital copy of the EP. For $25 you get the digital or CD copy of his first album, For Your Glory, added on to that. For $50 you get 2 copies of the first project, the digital download of the new EP, and your name in the liner notes on his website, and I will show you a Kickstarter secret. If you want to back the project, but maybe a different amount, so you say, I'm probably going to pick it up on Noise Trade anyway, but I want to go ahead and throw you some money, maybe not a full $10, you can hit back this project, and you can say, no thanks, I just want to help the project. So you're not necessarily picking a specific reward, but you just say, I want to help, and here's $5 or whatever amount. And that's true anytime you've got those where the pledge amount for the minimum might be higher than you want to spend, but you still want to help out. Doesn't get you any of the rewards, but it allows you to help and contribute just because. So there's a free Kickstarter tip there. And yeah, I probably should say, if you're into worship music, you should definitely check out episode 27 that came out last night. It's a special worship episode of this podcast. And yes, I wish that I'd had this one ready to go for last night's recording. It's good stuff. So normally, I like to take a look back at a campaign that has closed and provide an update. Well, tonight I have an update about Randall Goodgame from Slugs Bugs, and it's one that hasn't closed yet. Now, I'd covered this campaign for the Great Kids Project. It's called Slugs Bugs Sing the Bible Volume 2, and I'd covered that back in episode 23. And depending on when you're listening or watching, it might not be too late to back it. This campaign closes August 17th at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So hopefully you're catching this before it's too late. Here are a couple updates. So this is the first project Slugs and Bugs Sing the Bible Volume 1. It has just been nominated for Dove Award for Children's Album of the Year. So, way to go, guys. That is fantastic. Update 2 is Randall Goodgame sat down and recorded an episode of the Who Writes This Stuff podcast with Nick Flora. A great interview. Now, it just came out today, so I haven't been able to listen to the whole thing yet, but I did hear a great bit, kind of a lyrical analysis of Margaritaville. Really insightful and thought-provoking, but a very good episode, and it's always great, so I expect good things. And that's it. So the other update for them is they've exceeded their goal. So their goal was for $47,000 or for $40,000, and they've already gotten to $47,785. So way to go, guys! That is just fantastic. Those are all the campaigns for the week, but I want you to stick around for just a couple more things. If you like the theme song, at the beginning of the show, it's Hypostatic Union by a group called The X Structure, and their music is all over at Bandcamp at Name Your Price. So the links are in the show notes. Check it out, and be sure and stream some of their music, listen to it, decide what you'd like, and maybe buy some of their music. Don't forget to head over to the Crowdfunding Christian Music website, where you can find all those shows and the show notes. And I want to highlight a new feature on the site that I just put up called the Brag Board. And this is where I get to highlight all the folks who have been featured on the podcast and successfully funded their campaigns. Right now we have almost 80 different campaigns that have been successfully funded. So Jennifer Hildebrand, that we just covered tonight, she has successfully funded. Jenna Leash, that we covered in last night's episode, the Seeds Family Worship album, Slugs and Bugs, Hudson Freeman just closed, and that was fully funded. So, I mean, just these are all folks who've managed to hit their goals and get successfully funded, and they really deserve some recognition. So I built a brag board, and there it is. Check it out. Spread the word about the show. If you know someone you think would be interested in it, let them know. If you're on Facebook, be sure to like the podcast page, and then you'll see the post when I release a new episode, and you can share that on your wall to help spread the word. And stick around. There will be more campaigns to cover soon. In the meantime, you can email me feedback at crowdfundingchristianmusic.com or use Twitter. I'm at the other CCM. Thanks. Talk to you later. Have a good week. Bye.